Hey guys, how's it going? Mindful Baker here. Mindful Baker. Now, not baking today, but I thought I'd wear the apron just to show you that I am still the Mindful Baker. And yeah, today I'm talking about the channel, what I've set up, and how, yeah, it's slowly developing and slowly evolving and getting bigger and what I want it to be. Because obviously I hit rock bottom 13 years ago. A little bit after that, but 13 years ago was the accident I had, which culminated in me hitting rock bottom. And you can learn all about it if you go back to one of my other videos. You can hear all about that. But today's video is me just basically explaining to you and telling you why I'm doing this channel, not for some sort of pseudo type of fame, which I know a lot of people do, and not for money, although money will obviously help, because I need obviously to get my messages across, and by having these video stuff, that costs money. Anyway, now the channel, yeah, it's not very big at the moment. I think I have just over 250 subs or something, which isn't very big, but hopefully you will all join. Please do subscribe, please do tell all your friends, just so we can get this channel sort of up and running, and then you can watch me on my journey, which is very good. Now, as you know, I can't just suddenly, or no one can just flick a switch and you can suddenly have your millions of subscribers. That's not what it's all about. As you all know, you have to put the work in, you have to put the effort in, and you just have to be consistent with everything you do, which is just something I'm putting. Everyone who is successful has done that, and that's something I'm obviously willing to do. And I'm giving you all these different techniques to help show you how to do it. Now, as the Mindful Baker, I obviously love baking and cooking. I don't just do the baking, I do the cooking and everything like that, but I also love mindfulness, which is something I was introduced to after this accident, and which has got me from obviously the bottom, the pits of despair, up to where I am now. And so I have a lot of passion for it, and I'm showing you guys and introducing you guys to the mindfulness which help get me out of this sort of shitty hole which I was in. And it will hopefully mean that you guys can all, if you are experiencing any problems, you can also sort of help yourselves and get on a much better path. Now, I'm going to want to try to integrate some of the cooking techniques with the mindfulness and the motivation stuff. I've tried it a few times. I'm not very good, but this is a starting channel. This is something I'm trying to do and trying to get up. So there will be a stage where I'm cooking and I'm showing you why the mindfulness helps with the cooking, and the cooking helps with the mindfulness, and it gets you into a much better place. But that's something I'm developing over time. So just please support me again, subscribe, and give me and leave comments and just say, why don't you try doing this? Why don't you try doing this? And that'll be great. It'll be very helpful. So thank you very much for that. Now, the simple rule for the 2-minute rule is basically, the 2-minute rule is all about starting new positive habits. Okay, so you know that when you are being habitual with something, you constantly do it, but it takes a long while, or I think it takes about 3 weeks to become habitual over whatever practices it is you are trying to do. And what the 2-minute rule is it says it takes 2 minutes to start doing something, and once you start doing it, you will hopefully be in a position to just carry on doing it. But you have to put in that 2-minute bit. So the work is the 2-minute thing. So for example, if you want to exercise a lot more, go out for a run, for example, the first thing you do before you go out for a run is you put on your training kit and you put on your trainers. Okay? So the 2-minute rule is put on your trainers. Okay? And once you've got your trainers on, if you haven't suddenly decided today is a day to stay in the house with trainers on, you're already in the kit to go out and go training. So that's the easiest thing to do. Just put your kit on, that's your 2-minute rule, and then you're ready to go. Now, a lot of people want to learn a new musical instrument or want to learn a new language. I think certainly with the beauty of YouTube is you can learn to do absolutely anything on YouTube. So, for example, you want to learn to play the piano. Assume you've got a keyboard or a piano in your house. If you haven't, obviously, the first 2-minute part of that would be to Google who sells keyboards, who sells pianos. But once you have like your keyboard or your piano or your guitar, whatever, go on to Google, search for a reputable teacher on guitar tuition, and then start. Well, I mean, the first 2 minutes would be obviously finding who it was. Once you've found it and everything, just click it on, and it says pick up your guitar, play a chord, play a chord. And then once you've done 2 minutes of it, you're like, well, I've been doing it for 2 minutes, I might as well do it for another half an hour. And likewise with a language, if you find a nice reputable language teacher, you start learning your French, bonjour, or your Italian, Gabriando. The very first time I used these 2 minute rules was when I wrote a book. And I wrote a book just coming up, it was about 2 years ago. I wrote a book called Terminology. Now, I'm obviously learning how to do all of this technical stuff on my computer and everything, so I'll hopefully be able to put up a link to Terminology. But you can get it on Amazon, and there'll be a link. I'll put a link at the bottom of the page anyway. So Terminology. It's my first attempt at writing a book. It got published. It's quite good. Just see what you think. So anyway, but with the 2 minute rule, I used that massively with writing the book. So for example, every morning I would wake up and I would force myself, I would sit down at my computer, and I said I would have to write at least 2 minutes worth of the next chapter or whatever I was on. And every time I did 2 minutes worth, I then thought, well, I might as well just carry on. Even though I wasn't inspired to do it, I wasn't motivated enough to do it, I just carried on, and I carried on, and I carried on. And I wrote a book. I can't remember how many words it is, but it's a very thick book. About that thick. A lot of words. Whether it's any good or not, up to you. When you get it, read it, see what you think. And another thing I used it for was, again, with mindfulness and the mindfulness and the meditation bit, is meditating. So the very first time I was introduced to meditation, I was just like, well, this is going to be so boring. And I would force myself to do it, and I would just sit there and I'd be like, oh my goodness, I can't be bothered. And yeah, I just didn't get around to sort of completing it because I couldn't even be bothered to start the 2 minute thing. And then I found out about the 2 minute rule, and then all I literally did was just go, okay, I'm going to do 2 minutes of meditating today. I would get myself in position, cross my legs, sort of do that weird thing with your fingers, close my eyes, hum a bit, and I do it for 2 minutes. And then after 2 minutes, I look at my watch and go, yeah, why not? Do it for another 5 minutes. And at the beginning, I probably was 5 minutes most of the time I did it, but it worked really well. And now I do it 20 minutes every morning, and I don't need to sort of prompt myself to do it because it's habitual now. I do it every morning. I wake up and I do it. And it's something which just brings me so much sort of peace and calm within me. And meditation is definitely an incredible thing to do. So I think starting this channel was another very good way of utilising the 2 minute rule, because I hated the idea of just recording myself and just doing videos for the sake of doing videos. And I just, before I started using the 2 minute rule, I just would not do it. And so I went for weeks and months just not doing it. I was like, okay, look, set yourself up, get your phone ready, and then just record 2 minutes, do a 2 minute video. And then by the end I was like, I could do a little bit more, and then I started cooking. And so it was cooking that I started doing all of this. And likewise, you can use it with cooking. So for example, if you want to learn how to make sourdough, go to my course on sourdough making. And then if 2 minutes is good enough for you to sort of start it, carry on and do it. Admittedly, it does take 36 hours to make a loaf of sourdough, but it's not that much work. It's just lots of stopping and starting. Anyway, that's today's tip. It's very good way just to help stop procrastinating, and that's the whole point of it. It's to not procrastinate. So tips are, if you want to start something new, just put 2 minutes into the starting point of whatever it is. So like I said, if you want to go exercise, put on your gym kit, put on your training shoes. If you want to learn a new instrument, get your instrument, go onto YouTube to find a YouTube teacher. If you want to learn a new language, go onto YouTube, find a language sort of tutor for that, or get a good book which tells you how to do it. So it's just a 2-minute rule. Yeah, like guys, again, this channel is just slowly developing. I'm slowly developing. Hopefully I will get better and better at creating videos, and that's what I want. So please do make a comment. Just tell me if you think I should do this, that and the other to make it better. And please subscribe and tell all your friends to subscribe and like. I've learned all about, as part of my 2 minutes of this, that and the other, 2 minutes learning about YouTube. I've learned about how to make a successful YouTube channel, and this is what I'm doing. But I'm also mainly doing it to help everyone else. So guys, please like, subscribe, share, and just have a good time. And I will see you at the next video.